Oh yeah. You could call me. That's got the wicked bass line in it.
That's probably the earliest memory of music to me, being in the house. I mean, yeah, that's the one. So yeah, Paul Simon, Call Me Al. We did have other music in the house, but that was from my earliest memory. That was when you said the first song. That's the first thing that came into my head.
Oh, that's cool because I remember watching something like MTV when that song. They were actually reminiscing about that song, and the song has this bass line. The whole song stops. You have to know that.
Yeah.
But what they did, they actually played it. The bass player played it.
Okay.
If you listen back to it, it's really interesting. You as a producer would love this. It's played, and then they reverse it. It goes.
All right.
So that's all it is. It's a really. You wouldn't. Doesn't sound like it though.
Okay, I'm going to YouTube it.
Yeah.
When I get home,
man. Yeah,
check that out.
It's good to find your roots when you, especially if you're trying to make music. I don't try and make music anymore.
Yeah.
I'm in a douchey cover band.
Okay.
But to me now it's just like a second job, so it's become a bit of work.
Right, I understand. Yeah, see, for me, I don't see it as work. Like I do it when I want to do it. Like it's not something that I'm like I have to do it. You know, if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, it's just always been a part of my life. Music. I started DJing when I was in high school. Yeah, when I was about 15 or 16, I started DJing.
You've been one of the first.
I don't know about that.
Well,
there was probably a generation above me.
Yeah.
That would have been the earlier generation, and then probably my generation was like the next generation, especially in Australia. That sort of thing.
That's what I mean.
Like quite a new thing,
man. There wasn't a single DJ in my high school. I'm 5-6 years older than you.
Yeah.
So, all right. I left high school with Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, and really technotronic and that the dance music. That's what I got drunk to. Like that when I think of getting drunk, my first time going to the Springwood Hotel,
right?
Stuff like Black Box.
Yeah, I remember that.
I feel sick whenever I hear that song, man. It was just like, oh my god, I don't even know how to drink. I'm drinking this horrible stuff and listening to that music,
drinking whatever's coming, you know.
And there was no one ever thought there could be a DJ in the school I was in. It was just like who knew? Yeah, like music, producing music was it was still guitars and definitely with our mindset, all these kids that know.
And it was something that you needed a degree to do,
right?
And a lot of money. If you wanted a studio, you needed a lot of money and you needed a degree to actually know what you were doing.
Of course.
Whereas now, it's I've got a small studio at home, but you can start with a laptop and a small keyboard. And you're a producer, even without a keyboard.
Even the iPhone. You could probably get pretty good on GarageBand.
Well, I've got GarageBand, and I've got another thing called iMachine on my iPhone as well, which whenever I'm flying, I make music on that, you know.
You're so right, man. I remember, my first band, 1990, 91, we recorded a few times in that year.
Okay.
They didn't even... No one wanted digital. I remember even in 1995, there was a computer in the corner of the room in a lot of these studios where the long-haired dudes with like pseudo-echo t-shirts, no, don't want to even touch that computer. I'll use it if I need to. But we use analog
they use a
tapes.
Reel to reel. Yeah.
But what it meant for... I'm thinking of your work.
Right.
If we had any mistakes, if I was playing a rhythm guitar track and I made a mistake, but the whole band, they actually physically had to cut the tape.
That's exactly right.
And join it with sticky tape.
That's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So to create, I'm talking, Brisbane at that stage, no one would have been. You're right. It would have been a real art.
Of course.
To create. So I guess that's how 2 decks started to came in.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the 2 turntables. And you've got like a drum, a drum beat or a drum break, as they say, and you just go back and forth. So on your left turntable, the beat's playing. So it gets to a point in the record, either at the start or the middle, where it just breaks down to the drums only.
Right.
It plays the drums. Once it starts getting to the end, you flick over to the other side, and you just keep coming. You're pulling it back, letting it go, pulling it back, letting it go. It's easier to do. It sounds like a lot when you actually say it, but to do it is...
I'll bet. Obviously, not a lot of kids do that now. Am I right?
It's all computerized.
Yeah.
Most people that I do see now, they are using a laptop, some with an iPhone, or 2 iPhones. You've got like a dock that you put your iPhone into. And no one's using. I'm not going to say no one, but very few people are still using actual vinyl. Which is understandable because when you carry crates of vinyl.
You carry your life there, really.
And it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's fucking heavy.
Can they reproduce vinyl now? Can you go to a... You can?
You can buy, there's all sorts of things you can buy remastered. I mean, you just mentioned Guns N' Roses before. You can buy all of that stuff probably brand new.
Really?
Like that was made last year or reproduced last year. So, for example, Appetite for Destruction, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, all of that sort of stuff you can buy now, which they call, it's a reissue. So some people are...
Yeah, but you'd still be paying full. What I meant is like going, can you take your original Guns N' Roses record to someone out there that can just burn me off a copy, doesn't have any artwork on it, so you can have a cheap copy.
Onto vinyl?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why, because someone said this to me about a month ago that there are some clubs in Sydney, and it could be all horseshit, and a couple on the Gold Coast where they want vinyl. They're trying to create a complete brand for the bar.
Good.
That's not people with iPhones.
Yeah.
So which I thought, that's really cool because there's obviously some skill and art in getting your hands on the stuff. Though I know nothing about it, but it's like that's cool. Everyone wants to see performance. Yeah.
And it shows that they actually appreciate the art. So with your iPhone and with CDs, like people use CDs as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just pressing buttons to keep the time. Yeah. Whereas with actual vinyl, you really need to listen.
Sure.
To keep the time.
And it just looks cool. And
it does.
There's a bar on the coast. I won't say its name, but they actually hire a model to stand there on a little bit of a runway. Stuff it. It's called Cocoon. Stuff it. I've said it before. I know.
Okay.
But it's one of these. The drinks cost $1 million.
Okay.
Everyone is very good looking, and they have a pretend DJ.
Yeah.
She's just a beautiful model who is one hand on one ear and pretending to do everything.
And that's very common. Yeah. Very common. People in the States get paid a lot of money.
Right.
Paris Hilton is one of those people.
Of course.
She's
Of course. Isn't it weird, man?
It's strange.
I know that a mate from my high school, Rochdale High School, has said a million times before. He's been on this podcast show, Grant Fitzpatrick. He's in the Cult now.
Okay.
Yeah? The band The Cult, right?
Yep.
They just had their 30th anniversary of that big record. That's crazy.
That's great.
That's how old I am. But he told me, because he's been in a lot of bands in LA.
Okay.
Slash has a DJ outfit. Like, a lot of these guys will go, need a few bucks. They're such a big name that they'll go to a rock club and they'll be paid, or even go to a corporate gig.
Oh, that's right.
And be paid a few $1,000 to bring their record collection and just mix a DJ set. But really they're paying for Slash to be standing in the corner.
That's exactly right.
By the way, it might not be Slash. Yeah, I know Duff from Guns N' Roses does it.
Okay. But they're essentially paying for the name. Like I said, Paris Hilton is one of those big names that she gets paid a lot of money. I don't know how much it is, but it's in the hundreds of thousands.
Of course. And she would pay some big guy to actually probably create it.
To create the mix.
Yeah.
And then she would probably just stand there and press play and pretend that she's actually doing something, You
ever heard of Cut Snake?
No.
No? Okay. No. Well, they're a couple of... I'm in a sign business. Okay. I made their banners. They're a big DJ outfit. They're basically pro surfers.
Right.
But the way they breezed into the shop, it just blew my mind. What I'm getting at is, on the same topic, you can be a personality and not have to carry amps and shit.
That's right.
You don't have to load in a drum kit or anything, because it's as if the world has worked out what the punter wants.
That's right.
The punter wants to dance, and if there's someone famous in the room, what a party.
Of course. Goes hand in hand. But you've still got people that do appreciate the live band as well, and people that are in bands that do need to carry that stuff around. Well, obviously they've got roadies. Yeah. But you're right. People just want a quick fix, so to speak. So you've got someone famous and music.
Yeah. So when you create your, when I've tried to make, what would you call it, beats or
beats, just making beats.
Yeah. It all depends on the mood I'm in, right?
Of course.
So when I'm in this cover band, which I resisted for a long time, I was like, stuff it, I need to be in a band again.
Yeah.
And it surprised me how soon, like, there's the songs you love,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And whatever that song is, you might play it in front of a group of people who are drinking.
Yeah.
No one dances.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, but they might look, they might watch you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like when you play some song, be it the Beatles or anything,
right.
and the whole dance floor fills, and you go, oh my God, that's a great feeling. We need a bunch of those songs.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all those classics.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's often a beat that kids will dance to,
It is
so
a beat,
to speak.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and it's it's the melody within that beat, whether you've got someone singing or not. Yeah, so it's. I don't. When I make music, I don't aim to make music to be popular, if that makes sense. I do what I'm feeling at the time. So I don't really see the point in doing that. I mean, obviously there's money to be made, which is fine, and I know people that, well, I don't know people, but I know of people that make music to make money, that's totally fine. But I think, if it's something that you love doing and you enjoy doing and you do it for yourself, I think the success and those sorts of things will definitely come later on. But, there's times when I sit down and I make a beat or a song that I never thought that I would make. Something very up-tempo or something very down-tempo, Something totally different to what I would usually make. It just depends where your head's at.
Yeah, when as soon as your first track came on this morning, I went, and my mind I've done this since the dawn of time. Like,
right.
When a song comes on that clicks with me, I go, yep, I'm walking into a cool shop. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you go into a shop and they're playing just the right music, and
that's right,
and everything looks cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoever is running, there's actually a ramen shop on the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Muso Ramen.
Right.
You go in there and he's playing old school Japanese guy. Yeah. It's always old Led Zeppelin and
great.
It's always old rock and roll.
That's great.
And he's collected it. He's picked it. It's not all the classics. It's weird B-side stuff.
Handpicked.
But I've got goosebumps now. You know what I mean? It's great for music to take you to a mental space. Like all that, I'm in the back of a car and it's 1984, and we're driving through the city. I'm only 17, so whatever. By the way, I was older, but younger. Whatever. I don't know.
It triggers something, So I'm the same. Whenever I hear certain music, it does trigger something that takes you way back.
Yeah, but into different locations.
Yeah, of course.
There's dance music.
Yeah,
then there's Sunday chill out songs.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you ever heard of Google Home?
Google Home,
or what do they call it? There's an Amazon one. Alexa.
Alexa, I have heard of very recently.
Right.
You can order things through it. It's like a Siri sort of thing, and
exactly.
You can talk to it. Yeah. Okay.
But it's the cool part of it. I've got a Google Home.
Okay.
The only reason I got a Google Home over Alexa is because the reviews, for some reason, in Australia.
Yeah.
It was better for Australia at the time. But
fair enough.
The cool thing about it is it isn't a phone.
Okay.
You know how if you're with people and you go, someone asks a question, you're like, I know the answer's on this stupid phone.
Yeah.
But you don't want to actually touch your phone when you're doing stuff. But we've had a lot of fun at home going, someone says, what's that song? And you go, hey, Google, da-da-da-da-da, and it'll play that song.
The whole song?
Yeah.
That's great.
And then it'll go, the next song will be related to that song. So, which brings, why I bring that up is like with vibes, I can say, hey, Google, play me a Sunday morning playlist.
Great.
And it just knows what the world... Oh, this is hot topic. Come on, give us your best Japanese. Come on, mate.
My best Japanese?
Yeah, answer that phone there.
Where's the phone?
I don't know. Oh, there it is. Here we go.
Moshi moshi. Do you need another drink?
Oh, onegaishimasu.
はい。ビール一つ。はい、すいません。はい、ありがとうございます。はい。
I shouldn't, but it's thirsty work.
It's the weekend, I think.
At least we got that on tape.
Yeah, cool. Cool. So, music's just always been a part of my life, like, since I can ever remember, and it still is.
If you were to categorise your music like that, Oh, I know you don't want to even answer that. Is there a?
I think
if you were to explain it to people listening now,